I want to see what we're thinking. No, wait, we don't get the results. We get the matchup. It's better.
You don't even have to worry anymore, Lee. It just goes.
I wish everyone worked like that. We just get in. That's great. We're underway. European Regional. Number 1, the European Fall Open. And Solary achieves, talked a lot about it already, but certainly a story of a roster that you could have picked out in like season 4 or 5.
Yeah.
For all the players that are on it. But then you got KCorp on the other side with a lot of younger players. Vatira, Exotic, Itachi, a lot of young guns on the other side. Full French lineup on both halves. Very interesting to see how this one will pan out.
Yeah, if you haven't been paying attention to the off-season of RLCS, Vatira took a leave from Moist Esports, decided he wanted to explore his options, and has settled along with Itachi and Exotic. So that's a lot of a big question, because many people consider Moist to very likely be the best, if not the best, very likely the second best team in all of Europe. So break that up. It's a big risk from him. He has to perform well.
It's one of those questions you ask too, right? When you're going to be looking at both KCorp as Exotic going to get the first goal, but you're going to be looking at KCorp and Moist now, and you're going to compare. You're going to how strong are they with Astral versus Vatira? Was it all Vatira creating Moist success, or was it something a little more team oriented? A lot of people go either way with it, but I think KCorp fans are hoping Vatira can be that centerpiece that he was for Moist.
One way or the other. His teammates do an excellent job of breaking out of their own half. Vatira with the save, and Exotic just poking it through a slightly over-aggressive Fairy Peak of the midfield line, and that's not too out of character for Fairy Peak or KDOP. They do like to really get in your face at the midfield and really try and pressure you. And KCorp kind of on cruise control here at the start. Or I should say the restart of play.
Itachi also keeping it close. Enough boost to just dribble it towards the net. And Solary gonna dive a little harder for each touch, even there. Fairy Peak cut off by Vatira. It's a free ball for Exotic. He put it right in the top. And you called it. She's rinse repeat for KCorp.
When I was on Exotic's camera as he went for this one, he picked it out. You could see KDOP going across the net and said, he's just going to fall into the net. The top right's totally open. Makes the adjustment mid-flight. Great shot from Exotic. Hello.
Nice start for, oh my goodness, Vatira. Able to recover there. He probably should have put that one in for sure. You're a little upset with that one. How about Exotic? He's got the double, but defended by Fairy.
That hurts my soul if you're Shawset, especially if you're, I guess, Solary here, because, kind of a little surprised that you're getting walked all over a little bit, but a lot of time to work with, just a matter of getting possession as Itachi really trying to press there in the midfield, and Vatira is just going to waste time now.
Oh, it's just going down, and Vatira just gets the goal. Solary defense melts, and Vatira just has his way with the ball here. Oh, Itachi, he forced KDOP up, and that put him in an awkward spot. Jeez.
Yeah, and KDOP and Shawset, right when Vatira started that air dribble, they both started heading for the same point of boost. So definitely a resource issue over on the defensive side of things. Just didn't have enough to actually go challenge him as quickly as needed. And then, you're right, add in the extra pressure on the goal line around the back. Just to collapse, Vatira able to dodge and dive around everyone. KDOP denied by Itachi. Solary looking to finally start the offense going. Kind of been kept very quiet. Only 2 shots so far with 2 minutes remaining. However, Karmine Corp at 8 already.
Both those shots coming from KDOP. He's downfield for his third, but he goes for the pass. Shawset rips it on target. And Solary come back into the game, finally on the board.
Huge play from Solary. Nice clip from Shawset. Actually kind of worked out that he got bumped off the ball as Vatira was expecting Shawset to be able to follow that play, so he kind of leaped early. Shawset, he didn't have a choice. He got bumped, so he was just waiting, and thankfully, Vatira didn't realize that Shawset wasn't going to be able to maintain control of that, so went straight through it. Solary turned it into a goal back the other way.
Speed from Itachi. Was able to force the 50. Now Vatira keeps it close. That's been the one thing Solary, they've always had to come out for those challenges. KCorp have done a good job with their ball handling, keeping it away from Solary. solid touch. Vatir actually turns off the ball before the touch happens. Not sure he was expecting Ferry to drop it right on his nose. But not a lot of pressure here for Solary. They didn't really get possession at all there, despite that ball sitting in the blue half for a little while. It was more so KCorp just figuring their way out around the rotation, and they're killing a lot of time off the clock to do it.
Yeah, the structure from Solary feels a little weird. They play very close to each other, but that only really works, when you're thinking that KDOP, Fairy Peak, old school vitality, where they definitely have possession, and kind of feels like they're playing a little too tight for how little control they actually have over the play. And indeed, Exotic just going to pump in number 4 here. Good night, game 1.
Oh, Shawset and Ferry both committing to the play. Not a bad recovery from Shawset either to get the rebound, but the double ensures that no one will be available on the rotation, and Solary, this one gets out of hand out of game 1 for them. It feels like for KCorp, the game plan's pretty simple. Just control the ball, get those air dribbles, find the 50s, and Solary have just been in full response mode. They have not been able to conduct any drives of their own.
Got a great setup in the midfield as well over on the KCorp side. It's not a lot of guesswork on where Solary's trying to clear the ball. I'm just waiting for him to bring it to him as Vatira trying to piece something together, and Exotic, he's up early, and he's trying to make the adjustment to let Itachi hit it into him. Oh, man. KCorp feeling it.
When you're up 4-1 at the end of game 1, you got to start going for the clips.
Oh, they knew. He's like, oh, we double committed. It's okay. We can make this work. And like that's when you know you've got a firm grip, as KDOT probably should have turned in number 2 right there. Unlucky for him, and tough start for Solary here, but a lot of time in the series. Definitely not the way you'd like it to begin, but what can you do? Sometimes just get a little bit out-positioned.
Now KCorp will take game 1 out-positioned, out-mechanicked, and outplayed in that game. Solary got to get things figured out. The almost full French roster of Karmine Corp, plus Itachi, doing quite well at the start. Exotic picking up a hat trick. And the Vadigo picking up 3 assists. Like I said, on Moist, he was that guy, facilitating the offense, being the centerpiece, and he continues to be that for KCorp. Solary, unable to get anything going. Achieves. What do you guys see from Solary? We saw a little bit of play from them in the midfield, but they just weren't able to get anything going.
I don't want to spoil anything. I want Leaf to tell me what he thinks. He had to sit there.
What do you
think,
Leaf?
So he didn't get to say any words.
I have more thoughts on another match. I wanted to come in actually and break a Chief's heart.
Why would you say this?
It's not looking good for Williams herself.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. What happened?
Well, game 1, unless another goal was scored, the last I checked, it was 5-0 for Liquid in game.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough start for Williams herself.
I don't like that. That makes me very sad.
Maybe I'll have better news when we come back.
Liquid must have been sick of losing games they should have won. They're like, all right, enough of that.
No more.
We're not gonna have any of these questions anymore about Europe. We'll have some consistent teams. Some more consistent teams anyway. Solary trying to get on this game number 2 as we're started on Aquadome. Fairy Peak will start off in the corner. They got completely stuffed by KCorp in game 1.
You asked the question what I wanted to see out of Solary going into game 2. Ooh, well, that'll work.
Well then.
KDOP's just camped out here in the midfield line, waiting to see where the clear goes, and kind of sees Itachi getting a weak touch and says, neat, we'll collect that one for free. But, I'd like to see, to be quite honest, a little less aggressive positioning from the second man, because there's the person on the ball, obviously, and in game 1, they were so far forward, so aggressive, and they just didn't have the challenge superiority to really warrant that level of aggression. So I'd really like to see Solary make sure that, yes, we're definitely winning this. We can't just go because, we're us.
It could be okay to, continue if you want to position optimistically, as long as the third man is covering that option. But, that's the thing about third man on Solary too, is that the positioning has kind of been optimistic on their side as well. And the ball keeps skating by them. But when KCorp, they're kind of forcing Solary into that position, aren't they, with how they've been playing with their mechanics? Like, every touch is this in midfield from Exotic. It just freezes the entire Solary defense.
Yeah, KCorp's got a really good idea going for them. It's all ball control, pop it into an air dribble. They're not really getting pressured at the point of contact, so it's not like they're, having to make a touch immediately. Of course, Josette trying to make just that type of adjustment. The bump came through, but not enough to really crack the goal line as Solary will hold on to the 1-goal lead here.
Solary able to fight off one KCorp push. He's got to win that 50, and that's a perfect spot for Vladdy to sit. Here he goes on the reset. You had an Exotic jump in the air hoping for a demo. Wasn't going to happen. Itachi pulled off. He didn't have a lot of boost to recover. Fairy Peak moving around the corner, but it looks like a dead ball for Solary.
Just kind of awkward again. You saw, unlucky. Chaussette's back in time. He gave up the corner boost to make sure they didn't allow the equalizer. Transition coming through, and Itachi waiting in the net, stopping a bullet of a shot to the top corner.
High ball for Chaussette. Oh, he actually gets the touch as Vatira ended up missing the ball, but Itachi just missed his pop. Now KCorp starting to lose some of that first touch consistency. Solary battling in the midfield, but they just can't come up with a 50 to get control. Even right there, Itachi, he's got full boost, heading supersonic. You're not going to win that in the corner.
I like the idea, though, from K-Dop. He understands ball control is what is needed right now most for his team. And even if he lost that challenge, the idea to force them to come take the ball from you and kind of do what they're doing to you at the moment with how much ball control KCorp has had. That one's off the bar. Exotic just trying to buy a little time. K-Dop trying to get in his face, and everybody jumping at this one for Solary. And it's the other problem that reared its ugly head in game one. That structure not quite there for Solary every now and again.
And KCorp fully going for clips here. Itachi tried to catch that one on the side for a reset. Couldn't quite get that one. But now he's got 72 on that launch. Has a little bit more, but can't get around it. Shot still off. And Vatira, that would have been a nice little double tap, but instead Solary still survived. How much more life is on the monitor for him as it's taken away. The Fairy Peak has to rotate back. The ball's chipped away. It's just KCorp midfield. Vatira flip reset. 50 back to Exotic. And that's a goal. Maybe. Itachi puts it up. It was covered that time.
It might be go the other way.
Oh, he might get it. Fairy Peak. He's got Chaussette on the wing. And it's just too much on it. K-Dop actually got back. Vatira got the save.
They all left the ball, and I was like, oh, Solary, what are we doing? But thankfully, well, I suppose unfortunately, they did make the stop, but KCorp kind of puzzled a little bit how the defense can be so divey and them not find anything. Chaussette going to keep another equalizing chance out of the goal. And now it's initiate full smash ball downfield, waste time mode for Solary.
Be careful about that, though. That'll work best as long as they can keep the boost tanks low for KCorp. Otherwise, they're going to have to defend a lot of airplay as Itachi slows it down. Has a pass out in front, but Vatira's way back. Not going to be able to contend. Now Chaussette on the one-on-one. He can go for two. Chaussette denied.
Wow.
Vatira. There's a reason they called him one of the best defenders in the world. Showed it there.
That was a superior display of defense from Vatira. I mean, that type of approach from Chaussette where he's got that many options, go left, drop it down, go over the top, and Vatira says, there's only a small window where you can actually beat me, and you already missed it. And now if they want to tie things up, gonna have to do it in the air.
Corner. KCorp, one more chance at it. Popped up.
Okay.
Itachi launches it downfield, forces two up in the air for Solary, and off the board and down onto the ground. Fairy Peak protects the lead. Solary tie it up.
Solary. I actually got genuinely worried. They double committed for that ball that was headed towards the backboard, and then the pass, well, not really a pass, but the attempted clear that could have been a pass from the Solary touch. Thankfully, no one from KCorp close enough to actually capitalize on it. So take a deep breath. You got it done, Solary. You scored early. You held on to a lead for a very long time. One little mistake from KCorp, and defense got it done.
What do you make of Solary's comeback here?
Yeah, so, well, it's making me just, compared to the other matchups having right now, it's making me really expect a wild ride in Europe right now, because there aren't teams that I thought might be the teams that just kind of dominate, the top four kind of area are kind of struggling as well. I mean, BDS was down on Guild just until OT there. Oxygen, Aogiri are 4-minute overtime in game one. Now they're 1-1 in game two. Very close matchup. So across the board, again, KCorp is a team I would think would take this matchup. And for Solary to have a win on it now is showing me this region is still trying to find its footing. And Jorby, you always like wild rides. I feel like they're going to give it to us.
You know me. I do love my chaos. And Full chaos for me would definitely be Solary taking this, but I'm still worried for them. I don't think it was a convincing win for Solary. They still played a lot of defense. They had to manage their boosts for most of that game achieved. So game 3, for me at least, I think they have to find a way to actually take control of the game instead of just surviving for minutes.
I'm absolutely with you. It was a good win, but you definitely don't feel super confident in repeating the process with how much pressure KCorp generally held. But you can be happy with the outcome. That's really what you're looking for from Solary here. A lot more sticking power in the midfield, and make sure you stay on at least in the middle part of the pitch, if not the blue half.
Vatira forced a bad touch, but Itachi couldn't get around it. That's actually a beautiful back pass to Exotic, which is saved by Chaussette. KDOP couldn't get the rebound, excuse me. And Itachi going to take this ball himself. Not over yet for KCorp. What was that? Very Peak dropped that one back to Exotic.
It came off really weak. The idea obviously hit the flip reset out into the middle, but just came off the car so soft. And KCorp picking up right where they left off, camped out on this fatality hat. Not fatality. I see KCorp. I understand. Peak and KDOP, and it just triggers something deep in the mind.
We're not that far removed from it.
I'm sorry.
Look, there's a lot of history there, Chiefs. You're forgiven. Ferry. Decent touch over to Chaussette. Exotic just sticks it on the backboard. Not enough to play that back wall with KCorp. Vatira steals the ball in midfield. Look at the soft touch to Itachi. Vatira, if he had boost, he probably could have went for it, but Solary get the clear.
They did steal away that corner boost from Solary, though, so I'm not really sure if this counterattack's really got legs. It's more worth it. Oh, it absolutely does, I suppose. It's one clear, and Chaussette just stuffs it on the sidewall, so that's not good enough.
Oh, Exotic turned up. Second man also turned up, was playing the 50 if it went down the side wall. Exotic, full faith in that ball going the other way, and instead he gets punished, ball in his net. Uh-oh, that one just saved. There's been some diving stops from not just Fairy Peak. Him and Chaussette seem to be the ones behind it. Now very scary situation across the goal line. But Solary now, you think the last, about 8 minutes or 7 minutes of gameplay achieves, and they've shut out KCorp.
So far, but they might run out here. Chaussette again. Not the first time he's been just in the nick of time to clear the ball away. The pressure continues to mount, and that might do it.
Oh, man! Chaussette, that was crazy.
So now what do you think? Was Fairy Peak onto something?
He might have been on that play at least. Chaussette gets another one, but 2 commit. They got to stop the double commits. If they were a little more disciplined on defense, they might actually get some of these transitions. But Chaussette, I mean, the man had the read as it happened. Excellent defending.
He's only got 2 saves to his name, and he's working overtime on the goal.
Feels like 5.
Doesn't feel fair sometimes on the stat line, but what a stop from Solary and KCorp. Now you kind of start to get a little bit frustrated, because you can go through all of game 2, and you're like, okay, look, sometimes it happens. You just don't put one in the back, and game 3 starts to happen. You're like, cool, we're still pressuring, all's well. And now you realize Chaussette has set up a no-fly zone anywhere near the goal line.
Oh, that was actually excellent from Fairy Peak. He had Vatira bearing down on him, and he only had a small window to change direction and get to the other side. And look what it's done for Solary. Oh my God, KDOP! The lobbers! Oh, these are the type of Solary goals you're going to get, but Solary will take them. That's beautiful.
Just sat on it. Just trying to force the challenge because he didn't have much boost left, so what else are you going to do except try and win the ball? Okay, KDOP, you've outdone yourself. It took the perfect line straight into the net.
Chaussette, KDOP, and Fairy Peak carrying the Solary torch of, that challenge just goes in? Ooh, Itachi almost setting the goal for KCorp. Desperately need one. Now approaching 9 minutes scoreless. Here's one, but no, Fairy Peak in the air with Chaussette. It doesn't matter how many times you double commit, I guess, as long as you can get reset fast enough, but they're going to have to get reset again because here comes Vatira. 2 and recommit. Can they finally score here? No, Fairy Peak just lands right next to the ball. So Solary get out unscathed, but Vatira's coming back with another knife, and he scores!
Nice. Look at the misdirection from Vatira here. He's going to catch this pass from Itachi, and he's going to turn his car upside down. I'm going for a flip reset. And as soon as that display is given to the defense, they instantly start to go up there and challenge. And that's when he goes, nope, full speed ahead, whip the car back around, hit it with pace, get above them before they can make the adjustment to the top of the net instead of coming out to get me. And that's quite a shot from Vatira.
Cool. Now Solary. Gate has been opened. And Exotic, he had all the space in the world, but he got challenged there. Vatira dropped the ball down. Tachi around the side, but Solary's defense has been the name of the game, and it's worked. But they still gotta withstand so much pressure. I certainly wouldn't feel comfortable playing like this for 10 plus minutes. Solary, they somehow making it work. Another catch for Vatira, and KCorp will try again.
Nice part about it is they're pressing hard, but Chaussette, KDOP, and Fairy Peak, grizzled veterans, all of them. And they know what it takes to play defense. Even if, their timing, their communication, the structure's not quite there, they all know how to handle a press from an offense without question.
I was going to say, it feels like all three of them also in their boost management, something that they've had to have S tier on, or they've had to be S tier at, if you will. Exotic, hang on a second. He just missed the ball! That could have been a chance, but Exotic with a misread put Solary in position to win the game. Okay. One more chance for Exotic, a perfect drop. KDOP's just going to let it drop. And Solary, try as KCorp may, cannot buy enough goals to win against Solary.
Well. The underdogs are pushing. I would not have believed this. That's 2 games now where it's what's that shot differential? 5.
Have you seen this many
11
game wins with as many double commits as Solary had?
not in a long time.
Yeah.
Not since Flipside Tactics in like season 2, where they were definitely the best team in the world and just do that.
Hey,
long time.
You know what?
What about the Solary team, man? The defense is insane.
I think Fairy Peak talked about their double commits before, and he said it doesn't matter if we double commit as long as someone gets a hit.
Okay,
and
but don't make that the game.
Well, no, fair. But I think that Fairy Peak's onto something. He mentioned in that interview earlier that KDOP just gets goals, and it's happening.
Look, if the meta's double committing, man, if that's where we're heading, I don't know how I'm gonna.
That's not a world he wants to be in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, across the board, right now, even Guild has match point on BDS. Again, the Oxygen Aogiri match going to another overtime. Like the whole region could do it. Figure it out.
Could do.
I always think that North America is the one that makes no sense now, and I always forget that Europe has never made sense from the start of RLCS.
NA only doesn't make sense on day 1, and then all the
it all irons in place.
Yeah.
Like that's the funny thing. Like it's such an interesting thought because Europe, everyone knows who the best teams are. No question. It's like it's this one every time. We know who the best teams are. And yet, every single week, you have no idea what's about to happen.
That's been what's been fun about Europe is you get so many teams just cycling through. And then you even get teams like Solary, a bunch of old heads taking another crack at it. And looking decent. I'm not going to say they look great. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I'm going to call Solary's gameplay great play. It's sustainable for now, maybe in this series, but can you do it consistent?
I was saying you can't call their gameplay sustainable.
Okay. Can you believe it? I thought they were going to save it. I was like, there's no way this doesn't go in, but somehow he got a touch on the ball. Itachi, a perfect read off the ceiling, and KDOP just misread.
I thought Chaussette had it. He knew that KDOP was obviously going to be the first one to go for it. He was the contingency plan in the net, and I thought he got enough on it. Unfortunately, though, goes off the post and in. And this time, KCorp have the lead from the start. Now it's Solary who have to find an answer. And unfortunately, those have been tough to come by for him generally on offense, getting outshot every game. A lot to ask for. And KCorp has just been camped out on that orange half for so long.
Nice little pop there. Solary gonna wait for KCorp. Didn't work out for him this time as Exotic just tracking Solary's retreat. There's nowhere to go for Vatira or Itachi. Vatira wanted to push up a second man in the corner, but he just didn't see any options for him. Now Fairy Peak sends it over to Chaussette. Back to Fairy, nice. But Fairy doesn't need it. Chaussette tying the game.
I like Chaussette going for the risky shot here. Like, it's so easy to just make sure you get it in between the post here, but Vatira's got a lot covered. Yeah, he's in the middle. The only opening is to his back shoulder, and you gotta put it all the way over there. You can't think, let's just get it in between the posts with power. You gotta beat one of the best in the game. Chaussette executed.
That's got to feel frustrating for KCorp. You know offense has been difficult, or at least it's been difficult to score. But Exotic just threaded the needle. Beautiful shot. 2-1.
Just gonna slide this one on the floor. 87 miles an hour. That's what, like 100 and... Oh, okay, it tipped off a defender.
139.
That makes
Chiefs,
sense.
you were on the European broadcast today. You literally have one job. It's to go into your settings and turn on the metric.
I know. I'm a slacker.
I got
What
you,
can
though.
say?
I got you.
I appreciate you. I see.
There's also the broadcast.
conversion.
The broadcast had 139 too. There are multiple places you could have looked.
I have no excuse. You're correct.
Get your freedom units out of here. Tachi. Oh, almost pushing that one across, but KCorp trying to get set back up. And Exotic. Oh, he saved his dodge to get the 50 across. Really smart play with not a lot of boost. He kind of planted his car on top of the ball. Nothing's really mounting on it yet, but they are able to build pressure off of it. Itachi, nothing there. He lost the touch. K-Dub on top of him. Shaw set into a really prickly position here, but Fairy Peak gave him space and made Exotic bite. Now he's got 250s. How about Shaw set there? But it's cleared out in the midfield.
Managing the game beautifully. Hitting his team on offense with that push down the midfield line. That's a weak clear, and Itachi up nice and early. He knew he had to go because you can always expect Solary to be right there for that one. What do you do if you're Solary here? You still got a lot of time. It's not like you have to, desperation dive at everything that comes your way. But you do know how the past 3 games have gone, and it's been tough to break out of your own half.
Well, they've been able to get KCorp to bite in the midfield. Namely, I think it's Chaussette who's been most effective in that first man spot. Here he is again. Oh, couldn't quite find it. Now Itachi has a breakout down the field. Fairy Peak feathering it. He's got the touch, but he misses the goal. He had to get over 2 defenders. Chaussette got the 50, but Akira makes a great touch. Exotic across and just too far off the ball. Itachi, no way he could commit.
Some tough asks for KCorp there in terms of scoring. Doable, but very difficult. Fortunately, not able to extend the lead. Solary lived to fight for another few minutes.
Cool. Tachi gets across. Vatira steals the boost. Even the little chips that Solary are getting. Really, it's KCorp forcing Solary to get chips because they're the ones screening across and trying to get bump Solary out of the way. Excuse me, here's Vatira. Oh, he just dropped it down. Vatira, hello? Chaussette says, no thank you. None of that nonsense. Solary, you need a goal. K-Dop not gonna get the read. Fairy Peak, he got caught flipping. Total broken plays, one after another, and I can barely complete a sentence on it. Chaussette pops it back to K-Dop. Less than a minute left. Solary looking for the game time goal, and K-Dop sends it to the sky and plummets to the ground.
Just goes through 2 defenders here. Vatira and Itachi sizing up this air dribble, and he finds the seam. I mean, they've got low covered, they've got high covered. No one expected him to just dive straight towards the middle of the net after getting on top of that ball. And Fairy Peak again is correct about his teammates. Sometimes they just go in.
When we started this match, Guild had BDS on match point. Solary now in position to take out KCorp in 4. You thought you might have had a finger on the pulse of how Europe might go. Well, Europe had something to say about that. Good challenge in front by K-Dop. Fairy Peak just getting to that touch. Chaussette slipping underneath. And achieves in game 1 where you were talking about Solary's positioning and the second man being too aggressive. And we haven't actually seen them be over-aggressive anymore, but I don't think that's because the positioning has changed. They're just winning challenges now.
Yeah. Now they're just going forward and they're not getting stuck on their own half trying to win challenges. Now it's just there's a lot of space and trying to go as far forward as possible. Vatira trying to avoid an overtime. Needs a little help from his teammates. Fairy Peak says, let's kick it off again.
Oh, excuse me. BDS has Guild on match point. I misspoke there. You can blame Leaf, because Leaf gave me that information. I haven't looked at the scores. Look at Vati in overtime. No, Vatira just could not make it happen. A beautiful save from Chaussette. Can you get by this man on defense today?
Nope, not possible.
Dunk. Oh, Fairy Peak. I saw it, but K-Dop is on top of it. Chaussette right there waiting. hoping Exotic gives him a touch he can look at. Itachi trying to stop it now. Chaussette. Not a touch anyone can go for, but it's awkward for Exotic. They know KCorp are starting to get a little starved from the boost game. As long as they can keep the 50s going. Oh no, they just ran into each other. That could be disaster. Fairy Peak has to, or Chaussette, not Fairy Peak, has to get that read. KCorp on offense, though, that bump completely killed their drive. Vatira drops it down, saved by Fairy Peak.
Man, and you feel like if the execution is there for Vatira, catches that flip reset the way he wants, he might just be able to go straight through KDOP and beat the two defenders back, trying to get physical on that goal line and make it as difficult as possible for Solary to find a clear, as Chaussette's going to cut another one down.
And KDOP gets to Exotic in time. Fairy Peak, no boost. Exotic kicks it away from him, back to Itachi. It's starting to turn into you're only as good as your last challenge. It could just end up in your net. Considering Solary's gameplay so far, I wouldn't put it out for KCorp. They got to keep their cameras on a swivel. The net's open, but it's off. And Vatira can put it up. Chaussette, KDOP, Fairy Peak in retreat. KDOP pulled by Itachi. Itachi popping over Fairy. No bump on Chaussette. They get the clear out. Oh, but a big miss gives Fairy Peak a way out. KDOP next up. He's denied. Exotic gets the touch. Itachi on the turnaround. It's not over. Right back into the action. Not touch to Vatira. 2 touches. Oh, off the bar. And Exotic pulls off on the rebound. Pulls it away from KDOP. Back for KCorp. Do they have another shot? Chaussette comes up for this. Solary trying to get him out. Go! KCorp force game 5.
Little miscue from Solary on defense. Fairy Peak wants to take this one himself, but Chaussette comes and takes it away, throws it straight into Vatira, who is just diving to keep it in the mix. And KCorp finally able to block a clear, take away an opportunity, force a game 5 despite looking like the better team. Solary slowly but surely coming online, but still some of those little miscues on defense costing them big time here.
Chaussette, Fairy Peak, KDOP, combining for 6 total saves on defense. Fairy Peak getting 3, but it definitely felt like Chaussette is still the guy on defense getting those clears. It's been really tough. That one was tight for Solary. You can understand the thought process there. Like Fairy Peak, he didn't have a lot of boost on the back wall. He needed Chaussette to come and help him out. Fairy Peak gave him a good first touch leave, and they just couldn't get a good clear after that. So that one not working out for them.
Yeah.
But this one's still close.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, like, I wonder if we would expect this to be close if this was the old Moist rosters. The question is Rapid right? Because I feel like they shouldn't be this close.
Yo, this isn't first touch, man. You gotta save the save the takes for. Whoa. Hey, Moist haven't had the easiest run through Swiss in this regional either. So, you know, this is Europe. Who knows what would have happened?
Well, Jorby, if you told me that we were going to start off with a game 5 between Solary and KCorp, I would have kind of scratched my head and said, how? But now that I've seen it happen, it makes perfect sense. The Chaussette going to start it off with a bullet into the center of the net.
Ooh, this one slipping through. Itachi doesn't come up with a touch, and Exotic had to hurry up. He saw the challenge in front of him, had to prevent the shot, but had too much lateral momentum and so got really no real contact on the ball. Easy goal there for Chaussette.
Once again, KCorp gonna have to find a way through this surprisingly stingy defense of Solary. I mean, it's got a few gaps in it to be sure, but those gaps are small and force you to execute perfectly. And to be fair, you pointed it out earlier on, they do a great job managing their boost. They don't get a lot taken away from them. They're never really caught too far out of position to where they can't do anything about whatever it is you're trying to do, at least in some fashion. So who knows if KCorp's got it in them. You can put all the shots on target if you want, but it doesn't matter if they don't go in.
Just right there. You get to the net, and it looks close, but Solary keep their net clean. And it looked a little awkward there for KCorp. Itachi, the ball just too fast for him to catch. Now it's KCorp being stretched on defense. Vatira trying to punch a hole through Solary's offense. Oh, he makes a nice little cut in front. Back to Itachi. And Exotic was waiting for it. Gets the rebound. Oh, just off the post. Vatira turns around. 1 touch. Vatira, 2 touches. Does he have 3? KDOP gets in the way. Chaussette there. You can never doubt Vatira when he's in the air like that. For sure, he would have got back to it, but KDOP gets in the way. KCorp still trying to find a way, but that touch was just to buy time back on defense.
love the way KCorp moved the ball. They might be down in this game and on the brink of going into the 0-1 round, but would not be surprised in the least to see them make a deep run and get out maybe round 4, because they're moving the ball beautifully, setting it up nice. It's just a matter of pressing the finish button. And Solary doing everything in their power to just hold them off, because they've got the ideas.
Good read on the play from Exotic to steal Solary's clear attempt. Still thrown in front. They forced 2 to commit from Solary, but Itachi, probably better he didn't touch that. It would have dropped right down to Fairy Peak. Very possible that he did leave that, as Itachi doesn't really get the touch he wants out of it. But Solary, look, they all get frozen. Actually, he missed the boost. Doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, you hit your teammate, not the ball. Wrong object. Oh, he's still in front. Fairy Peak, hello. Oh, you guys gotta make it look so scary. KCorp doesn't even know what's going on, and Itachi has to dive back for a save.
KCorp had the dunk on lock there. That ball was never getting away from him. This one's off the wall, but Solary bumped into each other, throws off the timing. Like, talk about defensive miscue, looks like genius. Oh, man.
That's been every game. They just always come up with the touch that's away from KCorp. Just never get punished for it.
Well, it's not done yet. Minute 45's a while, and KCorp's not done. They've got a few more tricks up their sleeve.
This is just a simulator. Like, you want to get good at defending against air dribbles. Here you go.
Oh my God.
Shostak gets the save, avoids the bump, gets a save. Vatira, can you pop through this defense? No.
Shostak read that ball was off the bar and was going to deflect into the middle and covers the far post on the reset. The dude's lights out in net right now.
Ferry had the better touch. That was 3 straight double commits from Solary. And then still KCorp can't score because someone's always there for the touch. Fairy Peak wrapping around. Is he going to get a second goal, which feels like an insurmountable lead if they pick it up. KDOP doesn't get it. Good chance for KCorp. Fati on the first. 2 touches. Oh, it's awkward, but Shostak, he's never going to bite too early. Itachi coming around for Vatira, who shaded the approach. KDOP bumps Vatira out of the way, but that put Fairy in a tough spot. And he's going to get the ball, no problem. Just another stroll on defense for Fairy Peak. Exotic got 2 50s. Somebody from KCorp. Vatira gets chipped on his way. Gets chipped twice, and KCorp just can't seem to get a clean touch without an orange car ramming into them. Air or ground, doesn't seem to matter. They got targets on their back. Fairy Peak in the way again. He's in the center of this piece. Vatira flips it around, and there's nothing. Itachi backflips. It was too much juice on it, a cheese. KDOP, no boost. No problem. It's in front of it. Itachi looking for a clear out. He's got it to Exotic. Last chance for Vatira. Vatira, 30 seconds. Underneath, he's got no boost. He shaded the approach for Itachi, but it wasn't enough. Still, Fairy Peak came up with a save. 10 seconds. This is it. KCorp. It's front. Itachi. Pass to Vatira. Denied by Fairy Peak, who left the ground with 5 boosts and still somehow made it. A demo to open it up. Itachi to the ball. No! 0 seconds and KCorp finally break through Solary.
They took out the one guy who could keep it all away. KDOP try as he might. Unfortunately, a few pixels too far forward, and the ball squeezes behind him against the challenge on a Itachi. And to be fair, if you were a KCorp fan, you were going to be livid about this not going to overtime with how many good looks they had on net.
Solary can't let the momentum slip their grasp that easily. But man, that one set overtime. Vatira is going to be to the ball. Fairy Peak didn't even commit as soon as he saw Vatira jump for it. Now Exotic. No power on that as it's taken away by KDOP, but it's right to Itachi. It's over to Vatira. KDOP did cut him off, but did he help? I would say yes, as Fairy Peak comes down. Every time he seems to touch the ball, he's got nothing. This man has been starved for 5 straight minutes. Fairy Peak's got to eat, but he just can't seem to find any food. Trying to get a dump-off pass. Vatira with just enough to get a touch, but that only helps out Fairy Peak and around the midfield line.
Still making the touches, though, one way or the other. Solary trying to find a way out. This he slips through, and they're going to collapse. They missed a clear off the top corner. What? Oh, that was Itachi. That wasn't even Solary. I assumed that was an orange car. And, KCorp
coming out the victors at the end. It doesn't matter how you get it. all people will see at the end of the day is the W next to your name, however ugly it may have been. And honestly, KCorp, it wasn't necessarily ugly. I think it was ugly on the Solary side, but the fact that Solary just kept coming up with touches on defense, it felt like it was only a matter of time before they finally figured out how to break through him and achieve it. Just, at least for Itachi's goal, it came down to the right 50, delaying your dodge, because the mechanics, I mean, Solary had those downloaded, but those challenges in front of the box were too much. And that last play, it sounds like you're still reeling.
I'm devastated, Leaf. I feel so